Welcome, 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 everyone, to another show. As we're waiting for the people to come on, because usually there's a little bit of a delay. We are here to help people become self-illuminated masters of the now. We, as in everyone that wants a communal spirit of unity and oneness, are part of a group that is interconnected and opening. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is our devices, like a cell phone. Many of you have heard me say that these are dirty energy devices. Everyone that's ever within your contacts is within your auric field. Everyone that's in your emails is connected to your phone. 20 years ago, even 30 years ago, before phones were digitalized in the way that they are now, you had a paper phone book or a Rolodex. The dirty energy existed back then with that Rolodex, but that Rolodex wasn't in your pocket, wasn't traveling with you, didn't have a Wi-Fi, didn't have a computer in it, didn't have a chip within it, didn't have power, didn't have wireless systems around it. Our auric field is constantly in energy, constantly moving, constantly in expression. Now, we must need these devices, but there are those that can go without them. For the last 4 years, I did not go with one of these. I got another one of these is because, as you know, Natalie was very ill for some time, and I couldn't always be near a computer or some other device. And then after she passed, I had to make a choice. Do I want to keep these in my presence? Do I want to keep them? And I made a yes choice for a temporary period to use a cell phone. My first choice, and 5 years ago, to not really use the phone, came down to the amount of projections that came through this device. Your boss comes through this. Your neighbor can come through this. Everything you can possibly think with this phone is interconnected can come through it. You may have a situation where there's a friend that you have that you haven't spoken to in a while, and you're thinking, hey, where are they at? And then they're over there going, wow, I haven't thought of them in a while. But then there are negative examples where, let's say you have two people that are arguing and fighting over a relationship or business, or your dog crapping on somebody's lawn. That right there allows a portal to your mind energy. So what I'd like people to do is to really look at your cell phone. Really, really look and understand that there is alchemy to be done in here. A lot of people who read their contract revocations off a cell phone. Very good concept. I would like for people to actually record as much as you could possibly record of you doing contract revocations and store them in your cell phone. If you want to record it on a better microphone and then upload it to your cell phone, you are still doing alchemy. To have an archive of your most powerful stuff within that device that allows the dirty energy underwear environment to step forward. Step one. And then we have our boxes. Computers. Da-da-dum. I want you to see those holes. That USB 2 and that HDMI cord. What do you think the teaching is behind looking at those plugs? All computers have them now. So your computer can be plugged into your television so you can watch Amazon, watch streaming videos, so on and so forth. Mixing one box with another. Each box represents a reality that's interweaving with you. Your belief when you're watching television on a screen versus your belief when you're watching it on a computer, which has a different level of projection coming out of you. Many of you that do heavy document works on your computers, you have this energy where you need to be away from the computer because you're typing, you're looking, but all of a sudden you plug your computer into your television to watch it, and you are unaware that all your work is coming through that movie. I want people to begin to truly be aware of how you're sharing energy through your devices. This is the next layer of modern shamaning. Understanding that the cell phone, the computer, this microphone, even this room, and your rooms, all are sharing energy now. Now, before I started this broadcast, I did a very special energy clearing ceremony on the property here, on my mailbox, my front door. It's something that I do regularly, 3, 4, 5 times a year, depending on the amount of energy that's being projected back to me. And these are not from individuals. This is from the whole system that is in resistance of change. Out there can think of somebody you know that will almost never change, short of a miracle happening in their life. Those people are called static standing wave deniers. And they broadcast an energy of no. It's an energy of yes, I'm entangling you in unawareness, and I'm going to dump my dirty energy all over this environment and be a polluter in unawareness and have a happy little life inside a turtle shell. Those people can no longer have access to steal your energy, your life vitality, or stunt your growth. Individuals must begin to look at how your mouse connects in, how your power cord connects in, and develop a ritual and ceremony that doesn't need the ceremonial fire, but still allows full access to the full potential and power within you. So I'm going to give an example now. I, in this ever-present moment of now, choose to acknowledge every technological device that's a part of this broadcast, internally and externally. I define the internal broadcast device being my voice that's interacting with this microphone, that's plugged into a computer via USB, that's plugged into a Windows system that is connected through the internet through a YouTube Hangouts. That is then being broadcast to other people's computers, that is then coming out of their speakers or microphones, and we are in a shared reality rules. With this acknowledgement and recognition of it, I, as this ever-present moment of now, clear every strand and wire, every circuit device, everything that maintains electromagnetic energy through a gold central processing unit. That's that computer chip you have inside there. That's gold. And the different silicon frequencies of crystals that are within the circuit board itself. The crystals within and the magnets within the microphone, the screen, so on and so forth. I acknowledge every aspect of that circuit and bring it into sacred neutral balance in my initial bubble of reality before it broadcasts and leaves this house and goes through the internet. There is a protected bubble here. I bring in every victory of ceremony I have ever had and imprint it upon this land, upon this microphone, in this body, in every aspect, until it is bathed in the galactic central sunlight of interconnectivity without negativity. Now I allow my focus, my broadcast, my voice to reach its various end user points. All subsidiary intermediary systems that are servers, server transfer points, are now cleared and neutralized. I am no longer sharing energy with those servers and systems that are not in neutral balance. I do not allow the worker at Microsoft to dump energy into this process, or YouTube, or anyone else that's in the Babylonian money matrix that is using the internet and its broadcast features. You cannot share energy with this stream in any way, shape, or form. Name it to claim it over technology. Now, for all those people that is coming to you, my process ends where yours begins. I do not step on the journeys of others. I am a sacred neutral witness and a broadcaster. You are receiving in your bubble your expression of what you hear. Now I would like for you have seen me expand the energy and bring it to your very edge of the bubble of reality. Clear out your room, clear out your screen, clear out your mouse, all the wires and the circuits. Take time right now to do that, because the next layer of interconnectivity here is how we can share an equal co-creation, not just through these shows, but the future shows where we all going to be sharing a common shamanistic expression to deal with our technologies. What is coming forward is online specialized ceremonies that are intending to heal people, that are intending to teach people about healing, multidimensional viewing, So it won't be about the giant fire. It'll be about what you can manifest as the modern MacGyver shaman now. Can you put together a reception bubble space as well as a projection bubble space? Can you have your technology in the room and still have it all cleared? Yes. So many of you hear me say, get it out of the room, technology off. The next teaching here is how to do it with it. How to do it with it. So everyone take a moment, clear out your room, clear out your computer, the CPU, the data, your mental browsing history, because that's still there. Look at your cell phone, your home phone. Deny it for this bubble of reality to have any exchange of energy to you. Feel empowered by this. Feel empowered. Allow the greater you to come forward. The healing of the day, the individual, I am being of the now, makes the conscious effort and choice to make it be a part of your sacred expression. The self-expression comes when we choose to paint our face with the color and contrast, with better understanding of who you are. When you allow contrast to come through, whole new options, whole new viewpoints are there waiting for you if you should just advance into them. I've asked people over and over to understand what nurturing is, because without true nurturing, you can have no roots into the universal source life and your rebirth of the self. The universal source of life and rebirth is always there. It is the infinite, pregnant, great mystery in perfect void space, waiting to give you the finite release of the soul shards you let go to other places, other times. We are at a moment where all of us, as universal beings incarnate in the flesh now, have allies that we must call upon. So many people right now don't call upon their allies. How many of you, when you were cleaning out your computer, did here add your allies to it? I added all of the victories, all of the prayers that I had done. Did you? Are you really ready to recalibrate your wisdom, recalibrate your knowingness and understandings to an even deeper level that says, I am the infinite dream? I am never limited by the wisdom I have not learned, because we are more than we've heard, read, and studied. We are more than our mystical experience combined infinite fold. We are universal streams of consciousness floating through space and time, not just this fraught time, but thousands of billions in other places. We've expanded our awareness through the clearing of our technological processes. We're here now in a moment where two bubbles are crossing over. It is within the moment you choose to go inside yourself and activate the sacred heart. How many of you are slightly afraid of putting your own sacred heart space, drumbeat of your heart into the CPU of your computer? Who has never even thought of that? I challenge you now in the contemplative moment. Is that something you can do on a regular basis? Bring your heart into the CPU of your computer and have it fully cleaned. Can you? When the heart is active, the system is not interacting with you. And when the system is not interacting with you, you can grow roots into your unity self. People see these computers and cell phones as the greatest distraction and destroyer of humankind, and they are, because people are not using the most basic heart-spaced wisdom to understand how to change the nature of reality that's around you, how to bring in the fullness of your victories into the biomechanical suit of the now. Everything is a cycle. Everything is a moment. Everything is a synchronicity. And everything is its moment of miracle now. You must acknowledge it. And by acknowledging the phone, the technology within the phone, all the people that created the phone, for you iPhone users and Samsung users out there, guess what? At what layer of percentage of the technology that's come to you has come from virtual slave labor? Okay? The clothing that you wear, how much of it was done by slave labor from children? The shoes that you wear. This is where you, the individual, must look at your technology as the human now, and then the environment you live in, and break it down like a spiritual engineer that understands how energy, the seen and the unseen energy, begins to make impactful processes and the empathetic you that's there. Because these energies can easily violate your sovereignty. We are going through a process now where here in the United States, we have massive charge, massive polarity in our mainstream media, being attacked by Trump, back and forth, both being charged in polarity and neither one being a neutral witness observer to the truth of the news that is there. That choice to say, I shall not entangle with the energy that alters mine for the negative through my devices, way that I observe through my devices. I break contracts, vows, and agreements that those created neurolinguistic programming. I break contracts, vows, and agreements with the individuals who programmed these controlling systems that are part of the mainstream media, the government, the banking, the media, all of those things, all of those individuals that create them, that come through the hourglass of focus and manifest through a piece of technology. You are all denied emotional, empathetic, or energetic exchange with me. Not entangled with your dirty energy that alters mine for the negative. Because I made a choice. This is the day you, right now, can choose to disentangle from your technology and stop using it the old way and use it the new way that allows the potential of your heart space to interact with the chip on your computer, the chip in your phone, or the chip in your mouse. Are you prepared to have a piece of your heart in each of your technologies that is constantly broadcasting no to the negative systems? There are a lot of people out there that are a little worried about doing that because they know innately what's in there. There will always be times that you retract your heart space away from your possessions, even our sacred objects like feathers. This is not within my presence all the time. This comes for an individual use. Technology is about our daily use right now. This is a different form of technology. This is a different form of technology. This is a different form of technology. This spiritual technology right here, I am interacting with, but there's no negative entanglement because I've made my connection to the animal that offered this. Our computers are a mechanical animal. Our technology is a mechanical animal. We must choose to disentangle from them, but then re-entangle with them in a very sacred and positive way so that they can become our sacred objects, just like the feather. So that modern shamans can step forward and find the inspiration and the joy to use their computer so that the negative energy is not coming through and stopping them from writing the next poem that can save someone's life, the next book that will be the next Harry Potter, or the next speech that becomes the most powerful self-help and motivation, or the next spiritual channeling that changes physics and dimensions. When we learn to interact with our technology with heart-spaced awareness, there isn't anything we truly can't accomplish because we are allowing the unlimited point of view. This is the day where you get to choose to disentangle from that stuff. I, in the ever-present moment of now, choose to disentangle myself from the grid that is my technology and re-engage myself in sacred heart space awareness. I now make a peace, not a fractured piece, but a whole piece of the hologram that is me from my heart into each and every aspect of my technological exchange of energy in my presence and bubble of reality. No other exchange of energy is allowed within this bubble of reality. This is my heart-spaced expression through all of these devices that I have now made sacred for my home expression, sacred for my global expression, sacred for my galactic and universal expression. Because right now, through the manifestation in these two legs, I am choosing to incorporate all versions of my soul sharded self so that the implicate me can be incorporated and integrated into this biophotonic suit so I can interact as the mighty I am presence moment of the now. It's a lot of mouthful, isn't it? It's a lot of people going, whoa, what's going on here? I'm setting you up so that the rest of the year, when you are interacting with your technology and all the negative stuff starts coming out in May, June, July, September, the amount of propaganda that is going to be distracting and weighing you down coming through these technological processes are going to destroy people's spirituality. I am helping you to armor and fortify your reality so that you can disentangle but still listen to the messages and not allow the messages to drive you into charge and polarity. We as awakened beings have so many choices in the ever-present moment of now. So many. We have an unlimited amount of choices. But our media wants to keep us in a limited point of view. With technology and the way we interact with their projection that's coming to us. Now, just as I've described my projection coming to you, what do you think projection comes to me from your reality? Radio show? Now we're using video. When I have 100, 150,000 people, what are the projections coming back? I have made a choice to fortify my reality. And those that are truly sacred, neutral witnesses who are a signature frequency max for peace, harmony, unity, and the common moral code of do no harm to any sentient kind. Those can seamlessly pass through because they are beings of divine love who will not need a litmus test of how much love they have. They are innately love. There are many, many people out there that are right on the verge of heart-spaced awareness until they got to go back to work. And then heart space awareness goes away and the business person takes over and you have aggression. Subtle business aggression that I am in competition with the rest of the system. And then they leave work and their spirit comes back. And then over again. The receptor, when they're not listening to the show, but thinking about me, are they the sacred practitioner? Or are they the business projector? They're the business projector, unless they've pulled the fullness of their spirit. So a lot of times I get this incredible pushback of energy from people because I'm challenging their reality. So I have made it a choice to create a net of energy. So no matter how hard that bullet is coming at me, the immovable object remains immovable. Because I have made a choice to allow my energy frequency to diffuse and neutralize charge and polarity that is directly laser focused on me. As a presenter, doesn't matter if it's me or Joe Fabitz or Tony Robbins. We all have projections. The denial that I can't do it, I don't have enough time, you've been doing it since you were a kid, all of those things are always in the field. 5 years ago, when I decided to do radio, or 4 years ago, when I decided to do radio at the big time, I made that choice of transiting out of the old version, fortify and armor my reality so that I can maintain this. I want to pass on these techniques to you so that you can begin to fortify and armor your reality. As I was saying before, there are projections that come back. There are times that these projections are so intense from individuals that I do have to step up and say no at a more powerful layer. I'm sure everyone has had an argument with a friend or a loved one, and you can just feel them thinking about you. In the middle of the night, you wake up arguing with them, you have dreams about them, whatever it is, they make somehow that projection makes a manifestation into you. That is accepting charge and polarity through a forced process. There are many people in unawareness that allow their forced energy to go into someone else's frequency and forcefully download their imprint and program or energy into them. Presenter, as a human being, as a shaman, had to say no to every imprint at every level, so that only things with love without strings attached or covert motives behind them can be a seamless exchange. I want you to begin to contemplate that and make it a part of your implicate practicing order, so that when somebody reaches into your energy field and dumps $20 of energy into you because for whatever reason, or dumps their negative imprint into you that makes you think you have to believe in Trump, believe in Hillary, buy this product, do that product, or that person's just plain pissed off at you or something else, you have now created a net that gives as much definement to the potentiality of something reaching into your field. When we do this name it to claim it process, we are creating alchemy with words. So fortifying the reality comes down to the cellular structures in the wall, the drywall, the wood, the very blueprint of the home that I am living in, every blade of grass that's upon this property, every rock that's in the driveway, every shingle upon the roof. I used my sacred master of the obvious to include all the different things that make up my bubble of reality, and I have fortified and armored them with my intent, so that when I am doing this, there is not all this other soup of creation that's coming in and creating distraction. So I am here, fully focused and aware. And when you and your bubble of reality are there, fully focused and aware, we get to operate at whole new levels of exchange. Equal co-creation, non-competition, non-hierarchical order begin to actually mean something when the soup of miscreation and the negative energies that's constantly prevailing in the background isn't there. Allowing yourself to truly look at the technological environment that's you and break it down. You don't need to be technologically proficient to know that there's a wire from this microphone, there's a circuit board in your computer, or that whatever else is here is how it operates. You don't need technically specific. You need to know broad specifics. A computer has a wire going into the plug to power it. It has a wireless source broadcasting and receiving. It has various plugs that plug into different technology that my hands interact. The keyboard. Those are good. When you look at your cell phone, you look at your cooking implements, any of those things, by making the sovereign choice to be a disentangled observer of yourself and how you interact with the world. Here's where the hierarchical systems of our light bodies are connected to these things. And this is where you have to say, I disconnect my light bodies from my technology and allow my heart-spaced awareness and presence to replace the need for a light body to be interactive with all other systems out there. I do not need to soul shard myself to tens of thousands of positions because a cell phone has 900 contacts in it. How many of you have a cell phone with 900 contacts in it? I bet you it's more than you believe. Because what is a contact? It's everything in your phone. All your social media that's interacted with it. Or it's coming out your computer. Every email is available there. How many people of you have 700 emails in your inbox that you've gone over? I have 2,800 in my inbox. If I regularly didn't clear out the energy of my inbox, every time I'd come into it, there would be this projection of energy waiting. It is why I created the fortification and armoring process. We can't do this fortification and armoring process without joy and happiness behind it. That's the hardest part about doing this. So what does it truly, honestly take for you to have the joy, happiness, and smile while you're protecting and fortifying? Some people take a little joy of giving the great middle finger to the system, and that's okay. It's about the charge you retain. So sometimes a little dark comedy or comedy itself or something that is truly genius within you brings the joy out to say to the system, I have discovered a way to remain as neutral as I can so that I can create an armored defensive system that doesn't limit me, but ultimately limits your ability to exchange with me. System that is out there, the world that is out there. We cannot not live in it. It is here now, always a part of us. It is the unseen world where we must understand is trying to always co-create with us in our unawareness. So by taking your steps to fortify your technological devices so that the sacred shaman can be a modern shaman, stepping through nature and allowing the fullness of energy to come through. So on the internet now, there are a variety of things where you can go and watch live feeds of waterfalls, whales jumping out of the water, animals moving, or just scenes of the sky. Can you clear your computer and then connect to some of those live streams to feel the energy on the other side, knowing that you've created a connected portal from your bubble of reality to another bubble of reality? You got to try at some point, because the technology of the system is doing that to you every time you watch a television. Every time you watch an Amazon movie, it is taking spaces from other bubbles of reality and trying to present it to you. Presentation. There are a lot of people that have challenged themselves to not be a zealot and to not be a martyr. Heart space awareness doesn't leave room for zealotry and martyrship. Why? Zealotry and martyrship may take you down a path of charge and polarity and creation, but it isn't allowing the unlimited heart space awareness of love to be the first choice. Zealotry and martyrship precludes love because it takes it away from the self-nurturing. Our routers, I've told people to put salts and crystals on them, but after a while they become complacent. What is true complacency? When you allow something into your energy field that is in your awareness and you go, oh, I can deal with it later, and then later never comes. There are a lot of people that when they're going down their zealotry and martyrship begin to disconnect themselves from the friends that they know. Why? Because they're not allowing the exchange of love in. They're not allowing the unseen world that's trying to give energy, hope, and motivation to that person to not be a zealot, to not be a martyr. But they can't help it. And then projections come back to you through your technology. Find every way to fortify your technology. The martyr is the part of ourself that wants to sacrifice herself to the altar of perception, misperception, misconception, and all other forms of misunderstanding that can be applied with the words of the now. The martyr side of us drives forward us to revolt against the system that is doing us wrong, that should no longer be a part of our process. But unfortunately, the martyr drives us to a level of insanity and self-deprivation and self-unreliance or self-over-reliance. Without the acceptance of what others are telling you in any way, shape, or form. When you are locked out of all other perceptions, other than that of the martyr, you've already lost the battle of the I am. You have given away power to the mission and forgot the I am's purpose in the mission, to experience the mighty ever-present co-creative moment of the now. Because it's always free will choice to be able to change your path and perception at any moment in time or no time, if you should choose. Here in the now, when the martyr makes its stand, is where you get to say no. Because you've had self-wisdom, self-interaction. Why am I bringing this teaching now? Because the junk that's about to fly through our technological devices is going to be unlike anything we have ever experienced before. We need to make our fortresses of solitude. We need to make our temples of armored selves, because what is coming in this world is the death of hope. Not all hope. The hope that 2012 has been projecting into the ancient future of change. Truly contemplate that. Where were you in 2012? What hope was projecting you to get to 2012? All of those billions of people who were projecting, come, help, change, none of it happened. All of that energy was siphoned and used for a different purpose within selves or others. Many of those who are, let's just say, subtle zealots, who have been living on hope, are going to have the most harshest of years. They are going to publicly break down, internally break down. And this is why I'm giving you this teaching. So that when mentalities blow up in August and September, in June and July, when uncertainty and confusion is everywhere, that people have an armored self, so that the charge and the polarity doesn't take them and make them the zealot from all the confusion that is here in the now. I want everyone to be able to take the next level shamanism, which is ultimately to be the modern shaman in the modern world of change, willing to get out there and be a presenter to the world that needs to hear you. I am here in the now as a signature frequency teaching and moment of the now, connected to the Akashic record of 20,000 worlds. I'm offering to you that as soul codes. I'm offering to you that as ultimately as an online course that is here to help people find the joy of prayer, find sacred discipline, find conscious application of the sacred, make separation of densities, and to create joy within their lives that is such long-lasting that they have to go back and look at these other choices where they only gave themselves a minute or an hour of joy. So many of our brothers and sisters can't even actually turn on the spark of joy for more than 30, 35 seconds. They're not connected to the heart. You here in these groups are connected to your heart, connected to so many other people who heart on, heart off, heart on, heart off. And this is beginning to tear at the sinews of everyone's soul. For those that can't maintain the frequency to be awake long enough to make any change in their life, it'll be through internal fortitude that you will survive and thrive and not be entangled in the bullshit of the world that's a soulless system of domination and control. Allow yourself to uncreate the martyr as a signature frequency teaching to you. Say to your reality, I do not want martyrs and zealots in my life. I am not a signature frequency match for them. They will only entangle with me, take away from my joy and happiness, and send me down the pathway of confusion and non-love. Let go of the sympathetic and the parasympathetic programs that drive you back into charge and polarity, so you might take up another version of martyrship in a different point of view. So the message of this teaching is become aware. A month from now, a year from now, this teaching is going to make so much more sense when you've seen the world go through the falling of hope, the breaking of hope, and the ending of hope that began in 2012. We cannot live on hope anymore. So many people, hope is what got them into spirituality. Hope is what got them in the first step. Hope will not get you to the second step. Hope will not get you to the third step. It'll be only your self-initiated, mastered, self-illuminated work of practice and sacred discipline that'll get you to the next level of awareness. And it'll be that repetition with illumination, not repetition for repetition's sake, that ultimately illuminates you, helps you understand what the awakening is and isn't individuated for you. Things are changing in a massive way. If you haven't read The Union and Communion, Collective Consciousness Strike, Removing the Carrot and Stick out loud, I would suggest that you try with the most amount of power. Many people said, it's too long. Well, that's for those that are stuck in mediocrity. If it's too long, tough luck. Suck it up, buttercup. Read it out loud with power. Challenge yourself. There are other contract fake revocations that are a page and a half. And I hear, it's too long. It's too complicated. Tough luck. Get out of mediocrity. Challenge your sacred genius to bring itself forward. Thanks a lot, everybody. And keep an eye out for the course, Living the Mystical Life Daily.